Hello ladies and gentlemen, Teveron here and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. This week we are going to be playing with the newly released Battle for Zendikar set on Magic Duels. This deck that we're going to be running tonight is a Naya ramp deck that aims to get out a lot of land and live until we can cast some big monstrous threats. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got in here. I'm running 3 Jaddi Offshoots. Has Defender, Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. This is great to help you live through really aggressive onslaughts. We're running 4 Gatecreeper Vines, which is mana ramp. 4 Elvish Visionaries, which in a way is mana ramp. It lets you draw more cards, and a lot of the times it's going to be mana. Evo Leap to cycle through our early creatures if we need to block with them or if somebody's going to kill them. Mainly it's just to make sure that when something on your side dies, it's card advantage instead of card disadvantage. Running 2 Rolling Thunder, which is a good finisher or sweeper for a bunch of small minions on the opponent's side. We're running 1 Nissa, a Vastwood Seer. Again, more mana ramp, and the Planeswalker aspect of her is pretty nifty as well. Running 1 Reclamation Sage. Also, you'll see later on in the deck, we've got a way to search it up if we need to. Always nice to have a little bit of enchantment removal. We are running 2 Radiant Flames, which is Converge. Converge says that however many colors of mana that you spend into this, that's what the X is. So if you cast it for a red and 2 green, you get 2 damage across all creatures. If you cast it for a red, a green, and a white, you get 3. Or if you just cast it for 3 red, you get 1. It is a pretty good sweeper in the format as it is. There's not a lot in the aggressive decks that live through Radiant Flames if you cast it for the full 3. We're running 3 Nissa's Pilgrimage. I'm not running the full 4, and I'll explain to you why that is when we get a little bit further into the deck. Suffice it to say that I found 3 to be the correct number. I am running 3 Mwonvuli Acid-Moss, which is destroy target land, search your library for a forest card. This means we can get some of the new duels that are forests, such as Canopy Vista or Cinder Glade, because they are forest and plains or forest and mountains. And this is one of the reasons that I'm only running 3 Nissa's Pilgrimages, because I'm running 3 Mwonvuli Acid-Moss. I'm also not running a ton of forests. I'm running quite a few, more than any other basic, but not so many that if I cast 4 Nissa's Pilgrimage and then some of the other cards in the deck that I may run out of forest to fetch. I'm running 1 Gideon, ally of Zendikar, which is a great card to let you just hold on for that little bit longer if you need to. Also a humongous beater in and of himself if the board is clear. I'm running 2 Planar Outbursts. Between this and the Radiant Flames, that's 4 sweepers that we have in the deck, and Planar Outburst can also be a threat in and of itself if it need be. 1 Oblivion Sower. Oblivion Sower is a monstrous body at a good price for that size, and it ramps you as well. It's worth noting that it says when you cast Oblivion Sower, you get this effect. It doesn't actually have to resolve. If your opponent counterspells it on the stack, you still exile the top 4 cards of their library, and then out of all the cards that are exiled of theirs, you can put all the lands into play on your side. Running 1 Nissa's Renewal. I'd love to fit more in if I could, but again, this is one of the reasons that I'm not running the full 4 Nissa's Pilgrimage. This lets us search for up to 3 basic lands, put them into the battlefield tapped, and then we gain 7 life as well. Running 1 Gaea's Revenge. This is the first, well, not the first. Oblivion Sower is pretty huge too, but the first of our truly big beaters. We're running 1 Omnath, Locus of Rage, and this guy has been insane in this deck. with his landfall of putting 5/5s into play, and when it or another elemental we control dies, dealing 3 damage to a target, it is just incredible. Games where we resolve Omnath and get to activate him even once, we have a really, really good chance of winning. We're running 2 Breaker of Armies. Sometimes you just need him to swing in and clear out your opponent's board. He's a pseudo sweeper in that sense, and also a 10 power beater. We're running 1 Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Again, I would be running more if we could, but this is Duels Origins, and you can only run 1 of each mythic. When we cast Ulamog, again, does not have to resolve. Just putting him on the stack exiles 2 target permanents, and they cannot stop that with the cards that are in this format. He's indestructible, and whenever he attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library. It's pretty insane. If he sticks around, you've pretty much won the game. And 1 Desolation Twin. When we cast Desolation Twin, we get a 10/10 Eldrazi. Again, when we cast it, does not matter if it resolves, we get a 10/10. If he resolves, then we've got 2 10/10s. In the way of mana, we are running 2 plains, 3 mountains, 8 forests, 2 Cinder Glades, 2 Canopy Vistas, 2 Rootbound Crags, 2 Clifftop Retreats, and 2 Sunpetal Groves. That rounds out my 60 cards. Let's get in there and see how she does. Yeah, we can't keep this. This is not good. This, however, is a bit better. And it looks like our opponent may be mulliganing into Oblivion. Up to 6. That's not so bad. We get to start off with our Jaddi Offshoot, and if our opponent's aggressive, then that's even better for us. The life gain and damage absorption we can get from blocking will be a big boon. It's not for sure that our opponent is aggressive, though. Okay. So, if they're straight Golgari, Golgari's generally a control deck unless they're running elves. At least it was pre-Battle for Zendikar, and I haven't really faced any Golgari aggressive decks that weren't elves post-Battle for Zendikar yet. I think we want red. At least get our Rolling Thunders active there. We don't have any hint of needing white yet, though we will eventually need 2 white for Gideon and Planar Outburst. We're not seeing a 3rd color from our opponent, so it looks like we are playing against elves. Yep. Okay then. Well, let's drop our Rootbound Crag since we drew it. Go ahead and Pilgrimage. Then next turn we can Acid-Moss, maybe set our opponent back a little bit and get one of our white mana. Okay. Well, at least our opponent didn't drop the one that makes tokens. I can't remember the name. It's Lice something, a 3/3 for 4 mana that every time they cast an elf, they get a 1/1 elf token. So there is that. Alright, so we will drop one of our plains here, and we will Acid-Moss their untapped duel and go get a Canopy Vista. As it counts as a forest, you can get that with Acid-Moss. Just like with Knight of the White Orchid, you can get any of the battle duels that are white because they are plains. So that didn't do a very good job of setting our opponent back, I think, since they were able to Nissa's Pilgrimage there. And it's getting to the point I think we want to probably Rolling Thunder and wipe our opponent's board this turn. I'm going to kill our Offshoot. Okay. I can deal with that. Okay, it's tempting to drop Gideon, but I think we want to sweep the board. We will Rolling Thunder for 5. And we only have to do 1 to each of these because this guy right here is going to shrink to a 1/1 when the other 2 dies. And 1 damage on him is going to be enough to kill him. And then next turn, we can hopefully drop Gideon onto an empty or nearly empty board. Though we do have 7, we probably drop a forest and play Breaker of Armies. Unless I miss counting there, I think we'll be at 8 lands. And we might want to kill Nissa, but playing Breaker of Armies seems pretty good too. Yeah, I think I'm going to break him. We can always kill Nissa after she flips with Rolling Thunder as well, so there's that. Zendikar's Royal. Okay, I haven't seen an elf deck like this. Looks like they're trying to go a little bit of controlling as well. They're swinging with her because, I don't know, everything has to block Breaker of Armies, but I would block her too if she swung, so it's better to just have her soak up the hit, isn't it? Yeah, let's go ahead and swing in there. Breaker should eat Nissa. Abyss our opponent from here on out. They'll have to sacrifice a creature every turn unless they get some sort of removal for him. I'm going to play Gideon. And we'll make a 2/2 knight. And then we will play a Gatecreeper Vine. And I generally don't get forests with the Gatecreepers at all, just because I want forests for Nissa and the Pilgrimage to be able to fetch. So I guess I will get our last plains. We'll play that. And no, I don't want to cast Rolling Thunder. I want to cast, doggone it, I want to cast Pilgrimage. Thank you. There. Oh, we've got Spell Mastery, so there we go. And barring a miracle, I think our opponent is probably dead here. Okay, so that's a death for Breaker of Armies. I think Gilt-Leaf Winnowers probably went up in value as far as usefulness with the release of Battle for Zendikar here. I think we just clear the way and swing. Yeah, we'll do it for 9. We'll do 1, 2, 3 to the winnower, the rest to our opponent's face. We'll turn Gideon into a 5/5 and we'll swing for 7. All right. Let's see what they can do to get themselves out of this predicament. All right. I mean, that's a blocker for sure. Okay, so that's a little host of blockers. Breaker should be able to handle those pretty well, though. Evo Leap's pretty nice as well. So Gideon's going to make a knight this turn. And I'm going to go and attack with the one that doesn't have Summoning Sickness, see if we can get a block out of it. Maybe trade for the 2/2. Okay. And then we'll cast Breaker. We'll also cast Evo Leap. We may cycle through our Gatecreeper Vines at the end of our opponent's turn. And I don't think we're going to need to, but we may do it in any event. Okay, Eye Blight. It's not going to accomplish a whole lot. Yeah, our opponent says GG. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm not going to cycle these at the end of our opponent's turn. We will make Gideon a 5/5. And swing for the win. Yeah. Alright, on to the next one. Okay. This is not very good. It's too slow. This is tempting. I don't think we can keep it though, not... Yeah, this is a lot better. Great. We've got Gatecreeper into double pilgrimage into Mwonvuli Acid-Moss. Should be pretty good. Okay. Been seeing a lot more fairy miscreants here going up the ladder this time. A couple mono blue along the way. Go ahead and play our Rootbound Crag and our Gatecreeper. Probably go and get a Plains, I think, to start getting our colors together here. Then Acid-Moss can get another white or red source, just depending on what we think we want at that point. If it resolves, that is. It may very well be countered. Looks like our opponent is blue-white. Probably a Skies type deck. Lots of small flyers and buffs. Okay. Visionary's pretty good. Let's go ahead and search out some forests. Hopefully our Acid-Moss doesn't get countered next turn. And we can kind of put a little hitch in our opponent's step. Slow down the beats. It comes into play tapped land is a good start. Okay, so our opponent is tapping out. We're going to be able to resolve our Acid-Moss. We could also Pilgrimage plus Visionary, but I would rather fire off the Acid-Moss, I think. Go for setting them back a little, color fixing ourselves, instead of for the mega ramp. Ooh, double Acid-Moss. That's pretty good. Acid-Moss a duel. We will... I think we'll get a Canopy Vista, and then next turn, if this resolves, we can get a Cinder Glade, and then we have our colors fixed completely. Okay. Alright. So our opponent gets to fetch. Probably get a Prairie Stream. Yep. Fairy Miscreants. Wow. Good card advantage there. Would like to draw a Radiant Flames. I'll take a Planar Outburst too. Okay, what do we top deck? Okay. I think I'm going to cast the Visionary first. just to see if we can't maybe draw a sweeper. It'd be nice if we could, and we can't. So we are going to Acid-Moss our opponent's Prairie Stream, get our second red source, and now we need to draw some gas. Can't block these little 1/1s. Block with my Gatecreeper. I'm just trying to stay alive at the moment. Okay, a River Marshal. It's a pretty good little utility creature there. Unfortunately, our opponent doesn't have any enchantments or artifacts for Reclamation Sage to eat, so we're going to Visionary. See if we can draw some answers here. Gaia's Revenge is a monster. What we're needing at the moment is a board wipe. And that's not it. It is, however, a little life gain, so we'll do that. You can also hold this Knight of the White Orchid at bay if the Nautilus River Marshal doesn't tap it down. We'll Pilgrimage. Spell Mastery achieved. And play a land for turn. So that's a little bit of life in our sails. Don't think I want to swing. I think I'm on the blocking side at the moment. What have you got? Retreat to Coral Helm. Tap or untap and scry. That's pretty good at the moment. Okay. All right. So you're swinging with the... Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you want to swing with the Dauntless River Marshal. I will kill it. We'll single block that guy. Since he has first strike, we cannot kill him. Take 3 here. We have a use for our Reclamation Sage now, though. Damage effects. Little hint, I've relayed this before, but if you go into your settings on Magic Online, you can change it to where you don't see those damage effects. It makes the games go a lot faster. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much if only one person does it, because we still have to wait for our opponent to watch the damage effects that they have enabled. Just a public service announcement there. I'm going to go ahead and cast Revenge. There's no reason not to cast it and just start trying to do our own little damage to our opponent. Could hold it back to block. Our opponent can't really tap it down with anything since they don't have green. Gaia's Revenge can't be targeted by non-green spells or abilities. And if he could block flyers, I probably would leave him back at this point, but since he can't. What are we anchoring? That's not good. I'm gonna have to redraw our Jaddi Offshoot now. Just that. Okay. I could triple block to try to kill it, but I think our opponent has a trick up his sleeve. So I'm just going to block with 1. probably has a Disperse or another Anchor that if we'd triple blocked, he could have bounced one and then killed the other two with first strike. Don't want to play that game. Go ahead and gain another life here. And let Gaea go to work. Yep. Well, I'm glad you're blocking with flyers. Are you going to try to kill it? Well, I am perfectly happy to let you do that. That is more than fine in my book. Talent of the Telepath. You don't see this being played a lot. So what'd you get? Planar Outburst? You want to cast that? That'd be good. You can't cast Rolling Thunder. If you want to cast Planar Outburst, that'd be fine by me. Oh, Nissa's Renewal. Okay. I didn't see that you had the option of that. I mean, you can cast Rolling Thunder. It's just not going to do anything because you can't pay X. That 7 life gain's pretty nice for our opponent, though. Okay, just going to hang back with your flyer then. Don't know if that's what I would be doing myself. Probably would be swinging with that 1/1 flyer and holding Knight of the Wild Orchid back to keep the ground that forces at bay. Especially with that nice healthy 19 life total you've got at the moment. Disciple of the Ring. This does a whole lot. Well, there we go. Okay, that does not make a ton of sense to do that, but that's fine. How many? It has to be instants, right? Instant or sorceries. How many have you got? You got 1, 2 uses of that. We've got Woodland Bellower. So here he blows. Bellow, bellow, bellow. And I think, yes, I think we're probably going to get a Visionary. Yep. Evo Leap. So our opponent could make us pay 4 more for it, which we can do. So let's do. Chose not to. Thought that those instants and or sorceries in their graveyard would have better uses on other abilities, I guess. That's not very good. I myself would prefer not to be top decking more land. We do have more than half of the land of the deck out on the board at the moment, so that's good. We're just pecking away at our life total. Although every land we draw does offset this guy by a turn, so. Alright. You can pump Disciple of the Ring. Alright, let's see what you want to tap. You have to use instants and sorceries out of your graveyard to do that. I'm guessing Bellower's getting tapped down. Don't know if you'll tap anything else though. Yeah, we'll skip attack. No use attacking into those. Go ahead and gate creep. And yes, please. Get a mountain. Leave forests in there in case we get Nissa. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. Probably will sack the Gatecreeper at the end of turn, but I want that blocker out on the board for now. River Marshal. Okay. So that's a tapping powerhouse. Fairy Miscreant coming over or staying home? Oh, lots of stuff's coming. Alright. Wanting to do some effects. Okay. Don't know why you would tap that down. It dies to your disciple there. We'll block here. Confirm. Pause and sack it to Evo Leap. Yup, that's fine. Let's see what we get. Omnath, that's pretty good. Now I wouldn't mind top decking a land. Rolling Thunder's pretty good too. Let's make sure there's still just 2. Oh no, just 1 because they used it, didn't they? So they can make us pay 2 more on Rolling Thunder. So 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we could go for 12. We need to leave 2 of that open. So for 10. We want a Rolling Thunder for 10. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Make us pay the 2 extra. Oh, tapping down? Okay, that's fine. I can understand that. Not wanting Bellower to smack you if you can prevent it. Yes. Good deal. So, let's take our opponent down, shall we? Go into the rumble zone. Better find something good with that telling time. Because we've got a pretty commanding position at the moment. I don't know that Jace is a good enough answer. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, we've only got 1 basic left, I think. But it'll do. Yeah, grab it. Get a 5/5 elemental, gain a life. And let's go to Rumble Town. Probably block my Visionary. I think he probably wants to leave Jace around to loot. Wondering if my opponent is playing sweepers at all in that deck. Seems pretty aggressive, so I'd say maybe Tragic Arrogance. Don't really see Planar Outburst being in there, though it may be. Okay, looted away to Thief. There's flipped Jace. There's Gideon. So yeah, our opponent's a pretty aggressive deck. Though Gideon is indestructible. Doesn't really matter, we've got way more power on the board than he has health left. What are you flashing back, friend? Talent of the Telepath? Or did you already remove that? Ah, telling time. Digging for an answer. That was pretty quick. You may have found something. Or not. Yep, there's Tragic Arrogance. Let's pause if it'll let me, and it won't. Oh well. Hate it when that happens. Yeah. Let's do damage to our opponent there. Wanted to sack some stuff to Evo Leap. I think I'm going to have to start clicking with my mouse on the stop timer thing down here. So many times when I hit the spacebar, it just doesn't do it. At this point, I think I'm going to sack the Offshoot. See if I can't get something to actually deal our opponent lethal. Okay, I'll take a Nissa. Don't have a forest to fetch with her, but there she blows. No. Alright, let's go. If nothing else, we can sack her to look for another big creature. I don't think we've seen... Yeah, we have seen Ulamog. He's gone. We do still have some answers, though. Not attacking, huh? Alright. Let's flip her. We'll give her a +1. See what she reveals. That's pretty good. Say hello to my little twin. May be enough to get the job done. Another Talent of the Telepath. Radiant Flames. Radiant Flames. It's not really enough. Especially since you didn't actually cast them with mana, they'll do 0. Yeah, flash it back again. I don't think you can deck me. You can take me to 2 cards. See if there's a Planar Outburst left in there. There's one. Yeah, they could hit a Planar Outburst. And that... Oh, Tragic Arrogance? Okay. Guess you're gonna block with... Gideon forever? Yeah, I couldn't sack in response. Because I don't know which one he's gonna choose. since Gideon's able to become indestructible. So let's make an elemental here. That's the Gatecreeper. Just going to go ahead and, yeah, make him indestructible. That's fine. No, I don't want to use that ability. Don't want to take more cards out of my library, I don't think. No use in attacking since we can't get through. Okay. So does our opponent have bounce? That's the question. Yeah. Do you have an answer? Okay, you do. What are you targeting? Okay. Stop. Thank you. Sack it. Yeah. Do I have anything left? I don't. I have a Gideon, though. So, you gonna double block this elemental, or just single block it? Okay, we're down to 7, but we need an answer, so let's Nissa it up. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully, if we can hit Gideon before we've got only one card left in our library, it'll be enough. Yep. Gotta block it. Need Nissa to stick around if possible. Don't need an Evo Leap. Mm-hmm. Yup. Alright, your turn. I need a blocker for Nissa. Maybe we can alter before it's over with. Don't know if we can pull that off though. 3 turns? No. We'll run out of cards before then. Aha! That doesn't deal with Gideon though. Because he can become indestructible. There we go. That's what we were needing. And we actually needed it right then too. Make us a knight, please, sir. If we win this, we'll have taken it right to the wire. So wondering about what's in our opponent's hand. It's the first Harbinger we've seen, I think. Another Tragic Arrogance. Doggone it. That's the game. We now have no way of winning. I don't think. So we'll see what our last card is. I don't remember what was revealed when we Evo leaped. Yeah. Well, it's not a land. Or it would have given us the choice of whether to go for a land. You know, Will Breaker. Oh, it's just a land we couldn't fetch. Alright, well, that was rather exhausting. Guess we'll concede this game. And thank you for joining me this episode of Friday Night Magic. I'm a little tired out, so we're only going to do 2 games this week. That was a marathon and a half. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like below. It really does help. Consider subscribing to the channel. I put up magic content pretty much every week. And until next time, be excellent to each other.